Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and we went over not too long ago about situational awareness, and I got some really good feedback from a lot of you. A lot of you put out some good things. I read some good stuff in the comment sections. A lot of you have sent me different emails and different things. Seems like a really good video. It's actually one of the most popular videos I put out in the past probably week or so. So I wanted to address a few things. And so we went over situation awareness, how to be aware as you go about your day from start to finish. You get out of bed, around your house, going outside, all that. So let's break it down into a little bit and get into a little bit more of a finer detail. So around your house, that is your castle. That is probably where your guard is going to be down most, depending on where you live. If you live more rural, your guard's probably down just a little bit more than if you live downtown in the major metro city, in an apartment on the third floor. Your situation awareness might be a little bit higher up. Just guessing. Okay, so what can you do? Well, this is going to be a little difficult, and I'm going to try and touch it to where maybe this will get you thinking. Okay, my best experience is I live rural. Okay, it's been for almost 20 years since I've last lived in an apartment. So apartment life has not been instilled in me a whole lot, but we're going to try. A lot of the things that you can do around your house, anything along those lines to an apartment, you can probably do on both. So first things first, the best thing to do is to give yourself time. And probably now, with it being cool for most of us. Now, I know some of you live down in Florida and you were going, hey, look at me, it's 70 down here. Okay, great. With the wind chill where I was, I think, was it last night? It was like 2 degrees or something when I saw some of you post like minus 40. So I hope a lot of you are warm. But take a blanket or a towel and kind of roll it up and put it at the base of your door. One, it'll help keep drafts out and keep your house a little warmer, causing you to use less fuel or electric to heat your home. But two, it makes the door difficult to open. Okay, so if you happen to forget to lock your door, which you should check your doors and make sure that it is locked, even if you're inside your house, you probably should get in the habit of locking your doors. But if you have something across the bottom of your door, especially if it's on carpet, then that friction makes it more difficult. Now, is it foolproof? No, somebody's going to get in, they're going to get in. But you can do things like that, and I'll do it for all of your exterior doors. Put it on the front door, put it on the back door. There's multiple things, and it's not going to look out of place. If somebody comes over, it's really easy to nudge it over with your foot, invite them in, and then nudge it back with your foot. For them, they're going to be like, oh, okay, they're just keeping the draft out. For you, it's actually more security. Speaking of secure, well, let me go back. If you have laminate, tile, wood, or anything like that where it's just going to scoot across, you may look into getting some sort of like a door stop or something along those lines. You're not looking to fully prevent the door from opening where we were talking about chains or anything like that. You're looking at making it more difficult to give you more of a reaction time, okay? When we talk about, say, somebody actually snuck up onto your property or down the hallway of your apartment or whatever, and they take that very first initial blow to kick or hit your door or whatever, most people, it's reactionary. It's kind of like that person that goes like this, and you flinch, and haha, you flinched. Well, that's actually good that you flinched, because if you just sit there like this and you get punched in the open eye, and that's bad. So you flinch because it's your body's reaction to protect yourself. So if I'm sitting here like this, my guard is semi down because there's a door, right over here. And that if somebody kicked it, the first thing I'm going to do is my body's going to react and get into a defensive posture. This is what it is. This is what happens. And it's a good thing. Okay. You're not in the movie theater. You're not theater. If you're not in a action movie to where the door kicks and the second that it hits your eardrum, you're not pulling up a Glock and diving across the floor, firing 18, rounds or whatever in half a second. We're talking real life here. So all we really want is, one, we want to make sure our door is locked. That's first line of defense, especially if you have a screen door. Go ahead and lock your screen door. If everybody's inside and you're not expecting anybody, lock your screen door too. Then lock all your doors and then put something there so that way it makes it more difficult to get inside, gives you more of a reaction time. Speaking of the doors, make sure you change your hardware out. Take the screws out of your hinges, take the screws out of your face plates and your striker plates, and put in nice, like 3-inch, 4-inch heavy duty screws. When you put a little tiny screw like that, it's really easy to kick that door or pry it open or anything like that. Again, I don't care what you do, unless you have a solid steel door with a solid steel frame set in with a solid, all that. If somebody wants in, they're getting in. Okay. All we're trying to do is give you more time to react. Now, that goes straight into your windows. There's a lot of things you can do with your windows. The best thing is, like right now, it's winter for most of us, put plastic over it. Not the cheap stuff that you buy at Walmart. That stuff's really, really thin and cheap. Go get you nice, thick, couple mil thick plastic and put that up. One, it's going to be a lot better on your energy. So it's going to save you fuel or electric or whatever, because it's going to help keep the heat in. But it's also going to help if somebody throws something at your window or hits it with a bat or whatever. It's going to keep that glass from exploding inside of your house. So it's another one of those things that a lot of people don't think on a lot of this level, but tactically, if there's a whole bunch of stuff like glass, windows and different other whatever things in your house, I've seen and read stories to where they will literally run around because it's like nighttime, and they will start smashing all the glass before they go in, because 9 times out of 10, whoever's in that house at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night probably isn't wearing shoes. So yeah, that first hit, somebody's out there and somebody's not, meaning well. But that second, third, fourth, they're just shattering glass all over the floor, causing your lack of movement. If now they can easily get inside and you don't know where they're coming in, there's all sorts of entry points now. Every time that they bust out a window, you have to now take a guess. Are they coming from here? Are they coming from here? 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 Where are they going? And so it's one of those ones of, am I going to wear shoes 24/7? No, I absolutely despise shoes. If I can get out of wearing shoes, I do. I know it's bad, but it's my choice. Which, again, I'm sorry, small caveat. When you go into certain things, especially militarily, tactically, anything like that, there's what they call like a threat assessment or a threat analysis, to where you pull out your little chart and you try and see if, basically in layman's terms, is the juice worth the squeeze? Now, on most things, especially when you're talking about wartime or some sort of tactical event or something like that, the way that that you did your threat assessment right is at the very end, when you get down to it, it says, don't do this, you're probably going to get hurt or worse, you should probably not do this. That's how you probably did it, because there's really no threat assessment when you're talking about wartime engagement or some sort of actual kinetic engagement, to where the threat analysis is going to go through the chart and be like, yeah, if you go in here and pop off a few rounds and throw a smoke grenade or whatever, you are 100% going to survive and not get injured in any way. It's just not going to happen. So you have to make sure that you understand, when you do things, especially after SHTF happens, there's no more hospitals, okay? So when you take a big stick and you don't have, a saw blade or something like that, and you start doing the old-fashioned break it over your knee, if that stick wins and fractures your femur bone, good luck, okay? Make sure that you think everything through. A twisted ankle right now is a bag of ice and stay off your feet for a few days. A twisted ankle during SHTF might be the difference between life and death, okay? There's a bunch that goes into this, but okay, back to home security. We'll go to shoes since we were just talking about that. One, you need to have a comfortable pair of shoes. Okay, even if you can't afford, go to the thrift store, go to a yard sale, go somewhere. Make sure that you probably need to have at least one pair of high top, over top of the ankle boots. I encourage everybody to go and get at least one pair. Now, if you can afford it, you need to have some sort of shoe or boot by both the front and back door. If you cannot afford it, the next best place is your bedroom door. And you will hear this a lot, okay? Don't sleep naked. Why? Well, if your house catches on fire, you don't have time to grab your clothes and you'll be outside naked. My house is on fire. I don't care, okay? Hopefully my neighbor's not a jerk and will toss me a blanket if that ever happens. But uh, that goes back to it. If you leave your go bag and your shoes and all your stuff by your front door and something, God forbid, happens and you can't get to your front door, what then? I ask so many people that question and they just look at me at the deer headlights. Okay, well, if there's a fire and you can't get to your front door, what do? Why go out the back door? Cool. Where's your stuff? Well, by the front door. How do you get it now? Okay. So it's good, okay, to diversify. We talk about this in precious metals and different other things, bartering items, whatnot. You probably, if you can afford it, need to set up little caches. So you need to have a cache by your front door, by your back door, in your shed or your garage or something like that. In your car, you need to have little things all over the place, just in case something happens. Let's say that the fire breaks out right at your bedroom door. So it's getting your shoes, it's getting your go bag, it's sitting right next to the door. You can't go out there. You got to jump out the window. Well, you jump out the window, you have no shoes, you're wearing whatever you got. What do you do now? Well, if you prepared for it, you can run to the shed, the garage, the car, whatever, and you got a little bit of supplies in there. It's something for immediate. It's something for you to get out of trouble now. It doesn't hurt you to take and have a secondary fleece blanket in the back of your car. Okay, yeah, it's cold right now, but your body's going to warm that up in no time, and you're going to be thankful in about 5-10 minutes when that thing warms up and starts keeping you warm. So think ahead. Again, this is being prepared. So you are setting everything up. Now, going back to windows, yes, I know I'm going to get to people in the comments. I'm going to mention it now. Yes, you can get the film on your windows if you can afford it. Yes, if you can't, I understand. That's why I said to get a thicker plastic. It's not going to be as good as the film. If you can afford it, do both. Okay. Next is you need to make sure that you know your house. Okay. I know there's a lot of people out there that like to move things around, especially some of the older people. If you're retired, I know people that personally that get bored and they about every 2-3 months they want to reposition everything in the house. There's good and bad in every scenario. One, if you move a whole bunch of things in the house, you don't have the muscle memory to do things to navigate at night. You're going to get a lot of stubbed toes. You're going to trip. You're going to fall, especially if you're older. Falling is not very fun. But that goes into the thing too. You need to know your house. You need to be able to navigate your house, and that is in all sorts of conditions. Can you walk your house blindfolded? Do you know how many steps something is? Do you know the best places to take cover, the best places to hide, the best places to hide something? Do you know that the hallway is a little extra slick, and so certain socks will make you slide? There's a bunch of different things that you need to make sure that your house is tactically set up for you, gives you the best case. And then you need to make sure that, especially now, I know some of you Southern people, so give me a second, but you need to make sure your house is winterized. So you need to make sure that you do everything that you can, that your house is set up for the winter time. So you don't have pipes freezing, you don't have all these setbacks. Winterizing your house makes it better for you. If you can cover your windows, you can cover your doors, if you can do different things to make your house warmer, you are going to be able to move a lot better because your potential invader, let's go with that, is outside in the cold. They have the less advantage. You already inside, you have more of an advantage. You need to keep it that way. So if your house is warm, let's say it's 72 degrees, if they're going to come at night, chances are, depending on where you live, it's going to be cold. They're going to have to dress for that. So they're going to be in layers. Okay. If the longer you can keep them out there, the longer they've got to suffer. If they make it inside, the longer that you can keep yourself distance and safe and keep them at bay, even inside, they're going to start suffering because now they're layered up in a warm environment. That makes uncomfortable for them, gives you more of the advantage. That's why winterizing, trust me, is a very good thing. Now, when we get into the act of positioning items, you need to make sure that you have a clear path at all times. I know I've got a 4-year-old and it's a constant struggle to keep a clear path in case of an emergency. Do your best. Keep items to where you can get it. If you need to quickly defend yourself, you should have within seconds, we'll go with that. You need to be able to have something in hand to protect yourself, whatever that is. Most of us, yes, that's a firearm. For those of people that do not agree with firearms, that's your prerogative. What do you have? Okay, you're not going to carry around a steel pipe everywhere you go. It's just not feasible. You're not going to do it. But what do you have? Okay, well, I keep it right here next to the chair. Great. What do you do when you go to the bathroom? You take it with you? You know, what happens if you forget? What happens if this is the one time in the last 5 years that you had to go to the bathroom so bad that you left it right beside the chair, you went to the bathroom, and that's the moment somebody decided to kick your door in? What do you have in the bathroom? Be creative. Look around your house, okay? There's things called strategic decorating. I know you can't see it, but right here, there is a wall sconce that has candles. I put them up there, one, because they look good, and two, I can easily grab it, and let me see if I can actually grab one down. Nope, that one's tucked in. Can I grab this one down? Oh, I can grab that one. I can grab it just like this, light this on fire, and now I've got kind of a torch. Plus, this is metal. Man, I need to clean that. You see the cobwebs on that? Apparently I didn't see that. It's embarrassing. But weapon, light source, all sorts of different things right here. And it is sitting right there. So if I never have to do it other than the very small, purpose of it looks nice, even if I never use the candle at all, it looks nice. Okay. But it's there that if I ever have to use it for another reason, it's there. So make sure that you do things to where you strategically decorate. Now, we may do a video on that because there's a lot of different things that I can do. I just wanted to mention it so it gets your brain working. What can I do that I can place something to where it's strategically good? All right. Last thing, okay, is make sure that whatever you're going to use for defense, make sure that you, 1, know where it's at, 2, you know how to use it, 3, keep it well maintained. So if you're going to use a pocket knife, that's great. Where is it? It's in my pocket. Perfect. Do you know how to get it out quickly? Can you deploy it out of your pocket, or do you have to sit here and do this and fight and struggle? Can you, in whatever position that you are comfortable, whatever you normally sit, can you quickly just pull it out, deploy it, thumb assist, spring load, whatever it is? Can you quickly get to it, pull it out, deploy it, and be on a defensive, stance in seconds, and a second or two? Can you do that? If not, you need to practice. But 3, you can get to it, you get it deployed, you get it out, you're in a stance, you're ready to go. Is it sharp? Is all the screws tight? Is it ready to go? Is it ready to be used? Think about all this, okay? So, all right, video went on long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to dive more into it. We're going to get into the outside of the home, so the second ring of the bullseye. Then we want to get into some of the other things. So this will probably be a little bit of a mini series. So, but you guys seem to enjoy it. I love you guys' feedback. If you guys like it, let me know in the comment section. If I forgot something, if you have something to add, if you have criticism, throw it down in the comment section. There we go. So stay tuned. More information to come. I appreciate you guys for spending a little bit of time with me. God bless. Love each and every one of you. And above all else, remember, remain united because we're all prepping in this together.